So the person that's had the most influence in my life, my number one mentor, hands down, is my dad. My dad has been there every step of my life and in every decision that I've made. Sometimes after I've made the decision, that fatherly advice, I've gotten a lot better at talking before decisions. About a year ago, you and I sat down and I talked about my failure story. I talked about probably the biggest career move that I ever made, the most difficult decision. And wouldn't have been able to do that without him. Wouldn't have been able to make that move because, I remember the phone call. I remember the phone call saying that I'm done. And again, not to go through the whole failure story, but that I'm physically burnt out, I'm mentally burnt out, and I just can't do it anymore. And I remember the phone call because I was sitting in the garage, and he just said, "Okay, then make a move. What happens if you don't? Are you going to go to jail? Are you going to get hurt? Are you going to," he goes through these scenarios, and he said, "It's just a job. It's just something. You're still going to be able to help out the people you want to help out. You're still going to be able to affect change in a world that you've talked about your entire life." And I just sat back and I said, "Okay." And he said, "It's going to be tough. There's going to be a long road ahead. You're going to get to where you want to be." And of course, at the time, like anything else, you don't think about it. But of course, he's right. And through every aspect, I've just been fortunate. And so, as now father myself of a 16-month-old, and actually another one on the way. So I think maybe by the time this comes out, we've announced, but having another boy. Sorry, Lindsay, if making an announcement, but we're having another boy in August. I'm modeling how I am as a dad with how he was as a dad, or how he is as a dad, because I tell you, I know that I can pick up the phone at any time, and I can call him, and I can get the fatherly advice. Sometimes it's, it can be things that I don't want to hear because that's the whole point, and sometimes it can be, you're on the right path, you're doing the right thing. So it's been so influential in how I operate as a person. It's been the things that have been driving me since I was young and realized that that's the man I want to be, is someone like my dad. So what I've done and have tried to do my entire life, sometimes without even knowing it, because that's what happens when you're influenced, is try to model my behavior after his, is to try to treat people with respect, be compassionate, and just all around be a good person. Also fortunate to have a mom that has those same values. Definitely don't want to leave her out, because I think that as that unit, they've been strong in the influence of who I am. As a field, we talk a lot about burnout, we talk a lot about imposter syndrome, and the common theme that I see with the advice that is given to help with that is finding a mentor. And the difficult piece with finding a mentor is, finding a mentor. So when I think of mentorship, and I think of mentorship in what we do and how it differs from supervision, we talk about supervision all the time. And when we get to a company, we're usually given our supervisor, or if we're in graduate school, here's your supervisor, or supervisors. Sometimes we don't have a choice, and that's okay. When it comes to mentors, sometimes those supervisors become mentors, but sometimes with our mentors, we can seek those out. We can find those mentors that we connect with, that we trust. We can find those mentors that we trust and go with them with almost anything. So as I've gone from, again, college student to working as a professional, my goal, or the things that I've always tried to do, is link up with like-minded people. I'm gonna tell you something, I hope it doesn't put you on the spot, Ryan, but I look at what you do and a few other influencers as mentors, in a sense that the stuff that you're doing on location is innovative. It's new. It's going to be fantastic. If you're out there doing a podcast, keep doing a podcast. If you're out there doing video, keep doing video. Everyone that's doing something that's outside of just normal clinical delivery, I look at you all as mentors, any influencers as mentors as well, because I'm not doing that. But I look up to it because you're getting things out there that is new. You're getting things out there that are different. You're reaching somebody, somewhere, somehow, someone that might not have a mentor. What I like the most about these outside the box behavior analysts, or even folks that are not behavior analysts that are still within the same realm of people that we look at, is they are doing things that are innovative. They are getting a message out that not everyone agrees with, and that's great. And I say that's great because it sparks conversation. And there are some things that you do agree with. You say, yeah, I'm going to explore more of that, or I'm going to use that in my practice, or you know what, I really like these people, this podcast specifically, so I'm going to reach out to them for more information. Or if you're a clinician that travels in their car all the time, guess what? You have something that you can do to pass the time. If you're someone that is on YouTube and things of that, Facebook, then you have stuff to watch. All those folks I respect the hell out of, because it's not a textbook. It's something I can watch, I can listen to, I can see online. Even people that aren't within our field, to listen and see and go, okay, I kind of like this, because ultimately, our goal is not just dissemination of ABA. Our goal is the future of ABA. Our goal is to get into middle schools and high schools and say, here's why you should want to do what we do. Here's how we operate. Here are the wonderful things that being a behavior analyst means. And here's how you get there. So one of the luckiest things that happened to me was I was part of the State Association in Kentucky. And we went through some, the president left, he took a job out of state, and so we were kind of in this place of, we had an organization, we didn't know where it was gonna go, we didn't know whether it was gonna dissolve or go, but we really wanted to push this forward. Lo and behold, here comes this behavior analyst moving back from Texas to Kentucky. And moving his family and reestablishing a business, and that's as Jason Simmons. Jason Simmons, the owner of Clinical Behavior Analysis, CBA. So Jason becomes the president of the association, and he contacts the involved parties, people that are interested in the association, and we have a meeting, we get together, and we're trying to revive this organization. And so for almost a year, I would meet with Jason at Denny's, which we would meet at 6 a.m. And we would order egg whites and avocado and lots of coffee. And so we would meet and we would talk about association things and revitalizing it, and then we would talk about business, and we would talk about the state of the we would talk about the business, the state of services, et cetera, et cetera. And at the time, again, going back to my failure story, I had just had my failure, and I was in a job that I was comfortable with, that I was, moving forward with. So it wasn't an angle for a business opportunity. It wasn't anything. That we were just two people getting together, doing what we need to do. Fast forward to about a year later, when we're sitting down and he said, we need to work together. And I said, well, isn't that kind of what we're doing now? He said, no, we need to work together. I want you to be part of the business. I want you to be part of this mentorship, this supervision, this growing of what we need to do. And of course I said yes. And that was 5 or 6 years ago. Again, time flies, could have been longer. And because we were both in the same place, because I respected his values, I respected his mission, I respected what he wanted to do, how he wanted to grow, how he wanted to not change the landscape of services, but more important, he wanted to bring good people. He wanted to give everything back to the people that were working with him. And in that moment, what I didn't realize was over the last year, even though we were talking about this landscape of services, is I had established another mentor. Mm-hmm. I had somebody who was teaching me the business end of things, who is teaching me, the personal side of things, who is also a very compassionate individual, passionate, driven person. And I again, from a business standpoint, from a career standpoint, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair without Jason. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have this career that I really love without his influence, without his mentorship, without the opportunities. So those that know me know that I'm a big Rocky Balboa fan. Originally from Philadelphia, mm-hmm. With a lot of life lessons in the whole movie series. In Rocky, where he's his trainer Mickey is telling Rocky, I don't want to just teach you how to box. I'm not just trying to teach you how to take care of yourself inside the ring. I'm gonna teach you how to take care of yourself outside the ring too. And that always hits me, because for my mentors, for the things that I try and pass on, that's exactly right. When we look at mentors, want to be able to not just go with them with clinical questions, not just go with them with, I have this issue with this client or this family or this parent training, or can you send me some more info on ACT, or can you send me whatever it is, but on life, on personal things, on the difference between being a 1099 or a W-2, just on things that you really don't get from your supervisor. Jason's always been that. Jason's always the first. He's give. Mm-hmm. He's that type of person that is always going to ask what you need, and he takes care of folks. Again, myself included. I remember when my son was born, that he said, well, what do you need? Do you need diapers? What do you need? And he was one of the first people to visit in the hospital. Yeah. Just that type of person that was always there. He's just always there. So I know that no matter where life takes any of us, that again, he's going to be someone that is always going to be in my life and always going to be there for things. We've had plenty of failures together. And we learn from those, and we've had plenty of successes. We have amazing folks now that are with us, that all are driven, that are passionate. There's a reason why that for the second year in a row, CBA is now one of the best places to work in Kentucky. They become family. They become, again, people you can reach out to for everything. They become folks that, again, take care of yourself outside the ring. So of course, after sitting down with Jason for a year at Denny's and eating our eggs and avocado, I started working for the organization. I started finding that they're in growth mode, and that everything that Jason wants to do is in line with everything that I want to do. Everything we sat down together came to fruition. Sometimes we sit down with folks and they sell you things. Yeah. Again and again, very trusting. They say, oh, we want to do X, Y, and Z. You get in and they're like, oh, just kidding. Yeah. That wasn't the case. So we get in there and I start meeting the people that are involved in the things that they do. I started off just doing some consultation within the organization. I met my wife because of CBA. Yeah. So again, I owe a lot to CBA because of those sit downs with Jason, because of finding that mentor.